Morning, everybody. This is Shauna with New to the Country Life, and today on this video we're going to do some chest pieces for to match some sets that I started. The first one we're going to do is I want to do a white piece but with a gold tone to it, so the other pieces are black and I already have those made. I'm going to use the mica powder called Gold Glow from Arteza, and hopefully that'll make a nice complementary piece for this. So 2 of these molds, we're going to do that. And then for the other mold, this is our board. So I've already poured these pieces, and today we're going to pour the pink glitter piece to go with that board. So we're going to start with getting some gloves on, and then we'll mix up some resin. I'm going to pause this for right now. You don't need to watch the whole resin mixing thing, and I'll come back when it's time to mix the colors, and we'll go from there. So I've mixed up my resin, and I've divided it into cups, and I've added a couple molds because I realized there's some other stuff I need to pour too. I have a set of black and white that I started, so I have half of it done already, so I need to pour the other halves so that I can glue them together. So this is going to be our white gold for the one set. I pulled out some glitter molds because I'm going to use the pink glitter on them. I'm going to have one of these be clear and one of these be black. So we're going to start with We'll start with this Gold Glow powder. Pardon the sniffles today. I have allergies and our wind is blowing like crazy, so it's not a good day for allergies. So I've added quite a bit of mica powder in here because I want to make sure that gold comes through nice. We're going to compare this to the board and make sure that it looks good. So it's a different shade of gold, but I think that's going to look good with it. The pieces will stand out on it. So we'll go ahead and pour that part. I have lots of videos on these little pieces. The key to them is not overfilling them. You want to stay at or just below the edges if possible. That way when you take them out, you have almost no cleaning to do. And I just use my cup and popsicle stick and kind of guide it in and try to keep it from overfilling. I'm going to pause this and pour this color. I'll come back when it's time to mix the pink glitter so you can see how that works. Okay, so I've got the gold poured and now we're going to do the pink glitter. So I've got my resin, I've got my glitter, and I'm going to pour this pretty heavy because I want that piece to be solid glitter, I don't want the resin to, the glitter to sink down and not be totally glittered. So we've got that mixed in. You can see it's very thick. And then we're going to do the same technique where we use the popsicle stick and just kind of guide it into the pieces, and we're again underfilling slightly or filling it just to the top of the mold so that as we take these out, there's not much cleanup work on them. It kind of self-levels, so you just have to just kind of guide it in there. It's better to put a little bit and then have to come back and put a little more than to try to take it out of the mold, because that just makes a mess. with the glitter in it this thick, it doesn't flow like the glitter did, or the powder did. So you have a little bit more guiding to do. I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of these molds, and then we'll move on to the next color. Okay, so I've got those poured. You can see them back here. I used some of my extra paint glitter, and I'm going to play with this chest set mold that I'm doing back here. So I put it around the edges. I'm going to do some other stuff in it, but that's a good way to use your extra resin. I need a clear set, so I'm going to pour that first, and then I'll put the rest of this into another cup and mix in my black. So let's get the clear one poured first. And this is going to show a lot of bubbles because it's clear. And we're going to use the flame in a minute, and we're going to get rid of bubbles in all of these pieces. But it's going to be especially important in this one because it's clear. You don't want to see the little bubbles in there if possible. So I'm going to go ahead and get this mold filled, move it aside, get the black mixed up, and I'll come back and show you that. That shows how to mix the alcohol ink. And then we'll use the fire to get rid of all the bubbles, and then that'll be the end of the video. Okay, so we got the clear one poured, and now we're going to do the black. Let me grab the pieces really quick so we can make sure we match them. I'm glad I did that because I thought it was alcohol ink, and it's actually a mica powder. So we're going to grab the right color mica powder and match it that way. Sorry, I know it's in here, but I'm not sure which one it is. I'm going to pause this while I look for this color. Hold on. Okay, so I believe it's this space gray color. So we're going to put some of it in here, get it mixed up. And all we're trying to do is kind of match the color that I did previously. When I very first started doing these, I didn't realize that you can glue them together to make a full set. Everything I saw had only the half sets. And so I poured it that way, and then I put it in a cup and never used it because I didn't have the boards. So it's just been sitting around. Yes, that's it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pour this part of the mold. If you guys are doing a lot of stuff, sometimes it's smart to take a picture and then make notes, like what colors you used and how many drops, if it's alcohol ink, stuff like that, to how many ounces of resin, so that if you ever have somebody come back and say, I want that exact thing, you know what you did. Because sometimes it's kind of hard to remember. The only reason I found this one is because I knew it was from my first set of mica powders, and it only has one gray in there. So it could only be one thing. If it had been a more recent set, I've got all new colors, and there's like 5 shades of gray. But I remember that I did this set when I first started, so that was helpful. Not many choices that way. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, finish out this tray, and then I'll show you how to use fire to get rid of those bubbles. So stay tuned. So I hadn't planned on doing this on camera, but I'm going to, since I've already started doing this, I'm going to do it. We're going to use the rest of this gray, and we're going to put some in here. I think I'm going to mix some clear for the center, and I'm going to use some silver leaf around the edge and maybe in this area. So I'm just going to have this sit here. I'm going to mix a little more resin off camera, and come back, and then we'll finish pouring this board as well so that it's finished. So a little bit of bonus stuff. Okay, so we're back, and I've mixed up some clear that I'm going to put some silver leaf in and get that stirred up, and then we'll pour this board. I'm going to use a couple chopsticks to move the silver out of here into my mix, because this stuff's messy to work with. And I'm going to make it pretty thick with the silver, because I want that to show up good in there. This stuff sticks to everything. It's very staticky. You just kind of crush it down in there and start stirring, because it's clumpy. And the more you stir it, the more it breaks up and turns finer in there. This is not silver leaf or gold leaf. It's like a fake stuff. Imitation silver leaf. And I get those on Amazon. Any big clumps, I'm just pushing them against the edge and kind of poking at them, and they break up. I have one big piece in there that does not want to break up, so give it a little more. Try to get it broke up. If it doesn't, I'll grab that chunk and just pull it out. Okay. Clean off my chopsticks and my little area so I don't get that where I don't want it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try pour it around the edge, which is going to push that pink in. I'm going to put some around here, and then I'm going to use clear to push this all around, and then we'll do some blending with it. We're going to start with it just around the edges. And nothing's going to stay where it is where I put it right now. It's all going to, it's going to move anyway, so. And we'll just do like a ring right here. We'll set that aside. Now we're going to take a little bit of that gray that was left over from the other chest set, and I'm just going to add, I'll just go like right in here and do a dribble. Then I think I'm going to just add a little bit throughout this. And then I'm going to take the clear and start working that in and to fill it up to the level. And then we'll do some designs in it. You can see how that pushes things back. Got too many cups in my way today. We're going to fill in that center to keep that. So you can see that pretty glitter showing through. I'm going to go around the edges and kind of push some of the stuff back toward the center. So unfortunately, my camera died, I'm sorry. So I had to finish doing that set, and I used the flames to pop the bubbles. And while I've been waiting for the phone to charge, I poured 2 more chessboards. So we got that going. I can show you how to pop the bubbles on this with the flame so that we get that finished out. You can use a butane torch, or sometimes I use the propane torch. But basically you light it, turn the flame down so you're not too hot, and you go across the surface fairly quickly, and that burns off. You'll see the bubbles pop as you go. And just be careful not to burn your mold or catch anything like your wax paper or anything like that on fire. And while I'm doing this, I see a little hair fell in there, so I'm going to pull it out. And then we can go across this other one too and pop its bubbles. I'm just turning it down. Okay, and as always, I'll show the finished products on my Facebook page and my TikTok. There's links to those in my bio on YouTube. So come have a check. I'll swing the camera around so you can see the other things that we did earlier. Any questions, find me on Facebook at New to the Country Life, and I'm happy to answer questions or comment below. Thanks.